Every morning, millions of people wake up, look in the mirror, and quietly panic. The hairline looks thinner, the crown looks weaker, the shower drain tells a story no one wants to hear. Hair loss doesn't happen overnight, yet when it becomes visible, it feels sudden and frightening. Most people rush to expensive products, harsh treatments, and chemical solutions, hoping for fast results. But what if the real solution was already sitting in your kitchen, something you use every single day without realizing its hidden power? If you stay until the end of this talk, you'll understand why one small change to your morning coffee routine could help slow hair loss, strengthen follicles, and support regrowth naturally without extreme measures. Hair loss is not just about genetics. It is deeply connected to what happens inside your body. Inflammation, poor circulation, hormonal imbalance, oxidative stress, and nutrient deficiencies all work together to weaken hair follicles. When follicles don't receive enough oxygen and nutrients, they shrink. When inflammation surrounds the scalp, growth slows. When blood flow is poor, hair roots starve. This is why topical products alone often fail. Hair is built from the inside first, and the scalp reflects internal health more than most people realize. One of the biggest mistakes people make is ignoring how daily habits silently affect hair growth. Stress-filled mornings, sugar-heavy breakfasts, nutrient-poor diets, and inflammatory drinks create the perfect environment for hair loss. Coffee itself is not the enemy, but what coffee does inside the body matters. On its own, coffee can increase stress hormones and slightly reduce mineral absorption when overused. However, when paired with the right natural ingredient, coffee can become a powerful ally instead of a problem. The key lies in adding a natural compound that fights inflammation, improves circulation, and supports cellular repair. This ingredient has been studied for its ability to reduce oxidative stress, support blood vessel health, and protect stem cells that are vital for hair follicle regeneration. When mixed into coffee, it works synergistically, helping the body counteract stress responses while delivering protective benefits directly to the bloodstream. Once consumed, this powerful addition helps calm chronic inflammation, which is one of the main hidden causes of hair thinning. Inflammation tightens blood vessels and restricts nutrient flow to the scalp. By reducing this internal inflammation, the scalp environment becomes more supportive of growth. At the same time, circulation improves, allowing oxygen and essential nutrients to reach hair follicles more efficiently. Healthy follicles are stronger, thicker, and far more resistant to shedding. Another critical benefit is antioxidant protection. Hair follicles are highly sensitive to oxidative damage caused by stress, pollution, poor diet, and aging. Over time, this damage weakens the hair growth cycle. The ingredient added to coffee helps neutralize free radicals, protecting follicle cells from premature aging. This doesn't just slow hair loss, it helps preserve existing hair and support stronger regrowth over time. Hormonal balance also plays a major role in hair health. Elevated stress hormones and insulin spikes can disrupt the hair growth cycle. This natural addition helps stabilize internal responses, preventing sudden hormonal fluctuations that push hair into the shedding phase. Instead of shocking the body, it gently supports balance, which is essential for long-term results. Consistency is the secret most people overlook. Hair does not respond to panic-driven solutions, it responds to daily, gentle support. Adding this ingredient to coffee once and expecting instant results will only lead to disappointment. But when used consistently at the right time of day, it supports the body's natural repair systems. Over weeks, circulation improves. Over months, shedding slows. With patience, hair texture and strength begin to change. However, mistakes can cancel progress. Overusing the ingredient, combining it with excessive sugar, or relying on it while maintaining a poor diet will limit results. Hair health requires a foundation of proper nutrition, hydration, and sleep. This coffee habit is not magic, it is a powerful tool that works best when the body is supported overall. The real message is simple, but often ignored. Hair loss is a signal, not just a cosmetic issue. When you listen to that signal and nourish your body correctly, hair can respond in remarkable ways. Instead of fighting your body with harsh treatments, work with it. Small daily habits shape long-term results. If you've been searching for a natural, science-backed way to support hair health without extreme measures, this one change could be the turning point. The mirror doesn't have to be a source of fear. With understanding, consistency, and the right daily choices, hair loss does not have to define your future. Hair loss does not begin with strands falling into your hands or collecting in the shower drain. It starts much deeper, at the cellular level, long before the damage becomes visible. Every hair on your head grows from a tiny structure called a hair follicle, and each follicle is powered by living cells that require oxygen, nutrients, and precise biological signals to function properly. When these cells are healthy, hair grows thick, strong, and resilient. When they are weakened, hair becomes thin, fragile, and eventually stops growing altogether. At the cellular level, hair follicles depend heavily on blood flow. Tiny blood vessels deliver oxygen and essential nutrients such as iron, zinc, amino acids, and vitamins to the follicle cells. If circulation is reduced due to inflammation, stress, or poor cardiovascular health, the follicles begin to starve. Starved cells slow down their activity, shortening the hair's growth phase and pushing it prematurely into the shedding phase. Over time, repeated cycles of poor nourishment cause follicles to shrink, producing thinner and weaker hair until growth eventually stops. Inflammation is one of the most damaging forces affecting hair cells. Chronic, low-grade inflammation can surround hair follicles and disrupt their normal function. This inflammation often comes from internal sources such as poor diet, high sugar intake, insulin resistance, chronic stress, and exposure to environmental toxins. When inflammatory signals remain active for long periods, they interfere with cellular communication, damage surrounding tissue, and weaken the stem cells responsible for regenerating hair follicles. Without healthy stem cells, the follicle loses its ability to produce strong new hair. Oxidative stress is another major contributor to cellular-level hair loss. Every day, your body is exposed to free radicals generated by pollution, UV radiation, processed foods, smoking, and emotional stress. Hair follicle cells are particularly sensitive to oxidative damage because they divide rapidly. When free radicals overwhelm the body's antioxidant defenses, they damage cellular membranes, DNA, and mitochondria, the energy centers of the cell. Damaged mitochondria produce less energy, leaving hair cells unable to sustain normal growth. Hormonal imbalances also disrupt hair growth at the cellular level. Stress hormones can restrict blood vessels and reduce nutrient delivery to follicles. Elevated insulin levels can trigger hormonal cascades that interfere with the hair growth cycle. Certain hormones can cause follicles to become more sensitive and gradually miniaturize, producing thinner hair with each growth cycle. These changes are not sudden but cumulative, happening quietly over months or even years before visible hair loss appears. Nutrient deficiencies further accelerate cellular damage. Hair cells require protein to build keratin, healthy fats to maintain cell membranes, and micronutrients to support enzyme function. When the body lacks these essentials, it prioritizes vital organs over hair growth. As a result, hair follicles receive fewer resources and cellular activity slows. This is why crash diets, poor digestion, and malabsorption often lead to increased shedding. Hair loss is not a surface-level problem but a reflection of internal cellular health. When circulation improves, inflammation decreases, oxidative stress is reduced, and nutrients are restored, hair follicles regain their strength. By supporting the body at the cellular level, it becomes possible to slow hair loss, preserve existing hair, and create the conditions needed for healthier growth over time. Hair loss often feels sudden, but in reality it is quietly accelerated by daily habits that most people never question. One of the most damaging habits is starting the day in a constant state of stress, rushing through mornings while fueling the body with the wrong kind of energy. This daily pattern triggers internal reactions that directly weaken hair follicles and push hair into the shedding phase long before any visible thinning appears. When the day begins with stress, the body releases stress hormones designed for short-term survival, not long-term health. These hormones narrow blood vessels and reduce circulation to non-essential areas, including the scalp. Hair follicles rely on steady blood flow to deliver oxygen and nutrients, and when circulation is restricted day after day, follicles slowly starve. Over time, this chronic restriction shortens the hair growth cycle and increases hair fall. Another harmful daily habit is relying heavily on sugar and refined carbohydrates, especially in the morning. Sugary drinks, pastries, sweetened coffee, and processed breakfast foods cause rapid spikes in blood sugar. These spikes lead to inflammation and hormonal fluctuations that directly affect hair follicle cells. Inflammatory signals interfere with the natural growth cycle, while unstable insulin levels disrupt the balance of hormones involved in hair maintenance. Repeated exposure to these spikes makes hair follicles weaker and more prone to shedding. Poor hydration is another silent contributor. Many people begin their day with coffee or tea but skip water entirely. Dehydration thickens the blood, making circulation less efficient. When blood flow slows, fewer nutrients reach the scalp and waste products are removed less effectively. Hair follicle cells are highly active and sensitive, and even mild dehydration can reduce their ability to function properly. Over time, this lack of hydration contributes to dryness, brittleness, and increased hair breakage. Excessive heat and harsh grooming practices also form part of damaging daily routines. Tight hairstyles, aggressive brushing, and frequent use of hot styling tools place constant physical stress on hair shafts and follicles. While this damage may seem external, it affects follicles at the root by causing inflammation and micro-injuries. Repeated daily stress weakens the follicle's anchoring system, making hair easier to shed even during normal activities like washing or sleeping. Sleep deprivation is another overlooked habit that worsens hair loss. Inadequate sleep disrupts the body's natural repair processes and increases stress hormone levels. During deep sleep, the body restores cells, balances hormones, and reduces inflammation. When sleep is consistently poor, hair follicles remain in a state of recovery deficit. Over time, this imbalance pushes more hairs into the resting and shedding phases instead of the growth phase. Perhaps the most harmful habit of all is ignoring early warning signs. Increased shedding, thinning texture, or slower growth are often dismissed as temporary, but hair follicles respond to patterns, not isolated events. When damaging habits repeat daily, cellular stress accumulates until hair loss becomes visible. Changing daily habits does not produce instant results, but it creates the conditions needed for recovery. By reducing stress, improving hydration, stabilizing blood sugar, sleeping well, and treating hair gently, the body can gradually restore balance. Hair loss worsens through daily neglect, but it can also slow and stabilize through consistent, supportive daily choices. The one natural addition to coffee that supports hair regrowth. Find 100 words. For many people, coffee is a daily ritual, a moment of comfort and energy before the demands of the day begin. What most don't realize is that this familiar habit can be transformed into a powerful support for hair health with one simple natural addition. Hair regrowth does not depend on miracles or extreme treatments. It depends on creating the right internal environment. When the body is supported from within, hair follicles are far more capable of recovering strength and function. The natural addition that makes a difference works by addressing the root causes of hair thinning rather than masking the symptoms. Hair follicles require steady blood flow, low inflammation, and protection from oxidative damage. This ingredient is rich in compounds known for calming inflammation, supporting healthy circulation, and defending cells against daily stress. When added to coffee, it helps balance coffee's stimulating effects while enhancing its benefits. One of the key ways this natural addition supports hair regrowth is by improving circulation. Hair follicles are tiny but highly active structures that depend on a constant supply of oxygen and nutrients. Poor circulation means follicles receive less fuel, slowing growth and increasing shedding. The compounds in this ingredient help relax blood vessels and support healthy blood flow, making it easier for nutrients to reach the scalp. Over time, improved circulation creates a healthier environment for hair follicles to remain active and productive. Inflammation is another major barrier to hair regrowth. Chronic low-level inflammation can surround hair follicles and disrupt their growth cycle. This natural addition contains powerful anti-inflammatory properties that help calm the body's internal stress signals. By reducing inflammation, it allows follicles to function without constant interference. When inflammation decreases, follicles are more likely to stay in the growth phase longer, which supports thicker and stronger hair over time. Oxidative stress also plays a significant role in hair thinning. Free radicals generated by stress, pollution, and poor diet can damage follicle cells and speed up aging at the scalp level. The natural compounds in this coffee addition act as antioxidants, helping neutralize free radicals before they damage cellular structures. This protective effect helps preserve the integrity of hair follicle cells and supports healthier growth cycles. Another benefit lies in hormonal balance. Hair growth is sensitive to internal imbalances triggered by stress and blood sugar fluctuations. This natural addition helps stabilize internal responses, preventing sudden spikes that push hair into the shedding phase. Instead of overstimulating the system, it gently supports balance, which is essential for long-term hair health. Consistency is what turns this simple habit into a powerful ally. Adding this ingredient to coffee occasionally will not reverse hair loss overnight. However, when used regularly as part of a balanced lifestyle, it supports the body's natural repair processes. Over weeks, the scalp environment improves. Over months, shedding may slow, and hair texture can begin to feel stronger. The beauty of this approach is its simplicity. Instead of fighting hair loss with harsh methods, this daily addition works with the body. By supporting circulation, reducing inflammation, protecting cells, and promoting balance, it helps create the internal conditions needed for healthier hair regrowth one cup at a time. Hair regrowth does not begin at the scalp, it begins deep inside the body at the level where cells communicate, repair, and renew themselves. The power of this natural ingredient lies in how it works from the inside out, influencing multiple internal systems that directly affect hair follicles. Rather than acting as a surface-level fix, it supports the biological processes that determine whether hair grows strong or slowly fades. Once consumed, the ingredient enters the digestive system and is absorbed into the bloodstream, where its active compounds begin circulating throughout the body. One of its first actions is reducing internal inflammation. Chronic inflammation is one of the most overlooked causes of hair loss. It creates a hostile environment around hair follicles, disrupting the signals that tell hair when to grow and when to rest. By calming inflammatory pathways, this ingredient helps restore normal cellular communication, allowing follicles to function without constant interference. As circulation improves, oxygen and nutrients are delivered more efficiently to the scalp. Hair follicles are among the most metabolically active structures in the body, meaning they need a continuous supply of energy and raw materials. When blood flow is poor, follicles enter survival mode and shut down growth. This ingredient supports healthy blood vessel function, helping them relax and expand slightly, which improves nutrient delivery. Over time, this improved circulation nourishes dormant or weakened follicles, increasing their ability to produce healthy hair. Another critical internal effect involves oxidative stress. Every day, the body is exposed to free radicals from stress, pollution, processed foods, and environmental toxins. These unstable molecules damage cells, including those within hair follicles. The ingredient works as an antioxidant, neutralizing free radicals before they can harm cellular structures. This protection is especially important for hair follicle cells, which divide rapidly and are highly sensitive to damage. By reducing oxidative stress, the ingredient helps slow follicle aging and supports longer-lasting growth cycles. Hormonal balance is also influenced from within. Stress-related hormonal fluctuations can push hair follicles prematurely into the shedding phase. Blood sugar spikes and stress hormones create internal instability that directly impacts hair growth signals. This ingredient helps stabilize internal responses by supporting metabolic balance and calming stress-related reactions. When hormones remain more stable, hair follicles are less likely to miniaturize or shut down over time. The ingredient also supports cellular energy production. Inside each hair follicle cell are mitochondria, which generate the energy needed for growth and repair. When mitochondria are damaged or inefficient, hair growth slows. The active compounds in this ingredient help protect mitochondrial function, allowing cells to produce energy more efficiently. This increased energy availability supports stronger, thicker hair production at the root level. Perhaps most importantly, this inside-out approach supports consistency rather than shock. Instead of forcing rapid changes, it gently enhances the body's natural repair systems. With regular use, the internal environment becomes more supportive of hair growth. Inflammation decreases, circulation improves, cells are protected, and energy production stabilizes. Hair regrowth is not about chasing instant results, it is about restoring balance. By working internally to support the systems that nourish and protect hair follicles, this ingredient helps create the conditions where healthier, stronger hair can gradually return and be sustained over time. When it comes to supporting hair regrowth, what you do consistently matters far more than what you do occasionally. Many people try a new remedy for a few days or weeks, see no immediate change, and give up. Hair follicles do not respond to sudden efforts, they respond to patterns. Understanding consistency, proper timing, and common mistakes can make the difference between progress and frustration. Consistency is essential because hair grows in cycles. Each strand goes through a growth phase, a resting phase, and a shedding phase. These cycles unfold over months, not days. When the body receives steady support day after day, it slowly shifts more follicles into the growth phase and keeps them there longer. Skipping days or using a helpful habit irregularly sends mixed signals to the body, making it harder for follicles to recover. Small daily actions create stability, which is exactly what hair follicles need to function properly. Timing also plays a critical role. The body follows natural rhythms, and certain times of day are more supportive for absorption and balance. Adding supportive ingredients to coffee earlier in the day works best because the body is more responsive in the morning. Circulation increases naturally, digestion is more active, and stress hormones are easier to regulate. Using this habit too late in the day may interfere with sleep, and poor sleep can undo progress by increasing inflammation and hormonal imbalance. Another important factor is moderation. More is not better when it comes to natural support. Overusing even healthy ingredients can place stress on the digestive system or disrupt internal balance. Hair follicles thrive in a calm, balanced environment, not an overstimulated one. Following appropriate amounts consistently is far more effective than using excessive quantities in hopes of faster results. One of the most common mistakes people make is expecting instant change. Hair that has been thinning for months or years cannot fully recover in a few weeks. Early improvements are often internal, such as reduced shedding, improved scalp comfort, or stronger hair texture. Visible regrowth takes time. Giving up too soon prevents the body from completing its natural repair process. Another mistake is relying on a single habit while ignoring the foundation of hair health. Poor nutrition, dehydration, chronic stress, and lack of sleep will limit results no matter how helpful one addition may be. Hair reflects overall health. When the body is under constant strain, it diverts resources away from hair growth. Supporting hair requires adequate protein, minerals, hydration, and rest alongside any targeted habit. Harsh external treatments can also sabotage progress. Excessive heat styling, tight hairstyles, and aggressive brushing create physical stress that weakens hair at the root. Even if internal support is improving follicle health, external damage can increase breakage and shedding, making it seem as though nothing is working. Inconsistency caused by switching methods too often is a major setback. Jumping from one trend to another prevents the body from adapting. Hair growth rewards patience and stability. Choose supportive habits, apply them correctly, and allow time for the body to respond. When consistency is respected, timing is aligned with the body's rhythms, and common mistakes are avoided, hair follicles are given the chance to recover. Progress may be gradual, but it is real, sustainable, and far more likely to last.